In the small lively village of Amankwe, there lived a girl named Olamma. She was very beautiful, with a smile that could brighten the darkest night. However, she was very thin, almost like a delicate wisp, and her frail body showed the signs of starvation. Her limbs were slender, her waist narrow, and her face, though gaunt, held an exquisite grace that captivated anyone who looked closely enough. Olamma's life was not a fairy tale. When her mother died, she was just 5 years old, and her auntie Ngozi took her in. Auntie Ngozi was one of the most successful businesswomen in the village. She owned the only restaurant in the village. Auntie Ngozi was a strict and stern woman, and her heart had hardened from years of hard work. She had twin daughters, Amara and Chinyere, who were the same age as Olamma. Unlike Olamma, they were plump and well-fed, always dressed in fine clothes and adorned with beads that jingled as they walked. Olamma, in contrast, was a mere shadow in her auntie's household. Her thin frame was a testament to the starvation she endured, as her aunt and cousins forced her to eat scraps left by customers, if she was lucky enough to eat at all. Olamma's days were filled with endless chores from dawn until dusk. She washed dishes, served food in the restaurant, fetched water, washed all the clothes in the house, and scrubbed the floors.
My friend, scrub that floor harder, you lazy pig.
She was always screamed at and never appreciated. Her hands were rough, and her feet sore from constant labor. Her cousins sat by day and night gossiping and dressing up. Yet, despite the hardship, there was a spark within Olamma that refused to be extinguished. Olamma loved to dance. Whenever she heard the rhythm of drums or the melody of a song, her body would move instinctively. She could shake and whirl her tiny waist with a grace. Even when fetching water or washing dishes, she would find moments to lose herself in the music, her heart momentarily free from the burdens of her life. In the market square, Olamma's dancing became both a source of joy and ridicule. The villagers mocked her slim frame, calling her cruel names. They predicted a bleak future for her.
"She will never find a husband,"
they would say.
"She will end up a slave forever."
Their words cut deep, and Olamma struggled to make friends. When she tried, they pushed her away with irritation on their faces.
"Get out of here! You stink with poverty,"
further isolating her. One evening, an old beggar passed through the village, begging for food. Her cousins, Amara and Chinyere, cruelly poured water on him, laughing at his misfortune. Olamma, with a heart full of compassion, sneaked the leftovers she was supposed to eat and gave them to the beggar, even though she was starving, having had nothing the whole day. The old man, touched by her kindness, blessed her.
"You will prosper in life in such a way that people will not believe it."
Olamma slept hungry that night, but was very happy to have helped the life. One day, as Olamma was on her way to fetch water, the village town crier passed through the streets, shouting an important announcement.
"Villagers of Amankwe, as you know, the king passed away a few weeks ago, and the prince, the soon-to-be king, needs a wife to assume the role of his queen. All maidens aged 18 to 30 are to prepare a dance for the prince. Dress beautifully and dance. Whomever the prince picks becomes the future queen."
Olamma knew immediately that the news was not for her. She felt sad, knowing that she couldn't participate, even though she loved dancing more than anything. The maidens buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Every young girl started to prepare, dreaming of becoming the future queen. Their mothers bought expensive wrappers to prepare them for the dance. Auntie Ngozi made sure to prepare her daughters well for the occasion, buying them expensive clothes, while Olamma wore rags. Auntie Ngozi even made Olamma teach Amara and Chinyere some dance steps, which she did happily. Whenever Olamma went on errands, she overheard girls discussing and arguing by the stream.
"Take a look at me now. Full package. The prince would definitely pick me,"
one said.
"I am your future queen. The prince is mine already.
Another said. She just smiled and wished them luck. As the day of the dance approached, the village square buzzed with excitement. Olamma watched from a distance as the girls, dressed in their finest clothes, eagerly anticipating their moment before the prince. On the day of the event, Olamma stood back, watching the festivities unfold. The music began, and one by one, the girls danced for the prince. Olamma's heart swelled with a mix of joy and sorrow, but she knew that even though she couldn't dance, she had taught her cousins well. As she watched, a feeling of peace washed over her. She had done her part, and despite everything, she still found joy in the simple act of dancing, even if it was in secret, away from the mocking eyes of the village. Olamma couldn't help but be swept away by the rhythm of the music. She started dancing, her body moving instinctively to the tune. She danced and danced and danced, forgetting herself and the world around her. And then,